This is Doc Ock coming to you live from Black Fact Central. Once again, we're going to give it a spin. And on this new day, let's see what we got for a proverb today. We got something really special for you today. All right, proverb for today. He who is free of faults will die. He who is free of faults will never die. And that's a proverb from the Congo, from the heart of Africa. Poem today is a poem, one of my favorite poems by Jalal and Nuruddin, one of the last poets coming out of Vibes of the Scribes. Vibes from the Scribes. Vibes from the Scribes. And I'm going to read the introduction to it so that you have an idea what went into it as well. E pluribus unum means one out of many. Months of research went into the writing of E pluribus unum. The Latin had to be translated, and the symbology on the Great Seal had to be interpreted. The conclusions were astounding, to say the least, and shed much light on the intentions of the so-called founding fathers, whose idea was to build a new Roman Empire. Thus, one finds many of the public buildings in the U.S. are based on the Greco-Roman concepts of architecture. Through our spoographic, I never heard of that word. I didn't see that word in there. Through our spoographic binoculars, we re-examine the historical context of the Grand Masonic Plan and why this seal was printed on the national currency. The institution of secret economics, in other words, hoarding, plays the most vital role in the spell cast on the dollar bill, which in turn hypnotized the working masses into thinking paper money was real. In fact, the gold in Fort Knox is not par equivalent with the amount of paper money in circulation. Broken down further, we have doll, in other words, facsimile or fake. They are unreal. Bill, be sick out of, be ill, be sick out of balance, and diseased, ill at ease. Be sick out of balance and diseased, ill at ease. And so, two economies emerge out of the eagle's claws, one peacetime and one wartime. The eagle being the national wildlife symbol. The number 13 is the key in this astrological, numerological, Masonic, satanic spell. The evil eye of Nimrod, who built the Tower of Babel and ended up a babbling idiot, trying to defy the lords of the universe, Rabiel Alamin. He who hangs over the pyramid as the capstone, bewitching all who watch and causing the money to be the root of all evil. Hence, the dollar is referred to jokingly in the States as the almighty dollar, one of God's attributes, Al-Aziz in Arabic. So, the poem goes like this. E pluribus unum. And just in case you haven't paid attention to what's on the back of your dollar bill, let me just give you a little thrill and show you something that's actually for real. This is what's on the back of the seal of the U.S., the Great Seal of the USA. And now you see it for yourself today so you can know what it's all about. Selfish desires are burning like fires among those who hoard the gold as they continue to keep the people asleep and the truth from being told. Racism and greed keep the people in need from getting what's rightfully theirs. Cheating, stealing, and double dealing as they exploit the people's fears. Now Dow Jones owns the people's homes and all the surrounding land, buying and selling their humble dwelling in the name of the master plan. Because paper money is like a bee without honey with no stinger to back him up. And those who stole the people's gold are definitely corrupt. credit cards, master charge, legacies of wills, real estate, stocks and bonds on coupon paper bills. Now, the U.S. mints on paper prints millions every day and use the eagle for their symbol because it's a bird of prey. The laurels of peace and the arrows of war are clutched very tightly in the eagle's claws, filled with greed and lust. On the back of the dollar bill is the words, "In God we trust." But the dollar bill is their only God, and they don't even trust each other. For a few dollars more, they'd start a war to exploit some brother's mother. Then there's the pyramid that stands by itself, created by black people's knowledge and wealth. Over the pyramid hangs the devil's eye that stole from the truth and created the lie. Now, a new it means an endless amount stolen over the years, and coeptus means a new empire of vampire millionaires. And novus is a Latin word meaning something new, and ordo means a way of life chosen by a few. Seclorum is a word that means to take from another, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding stolen from the brother. Roman numerals on the base of the pyramid's face tell the date they began to exist, when they established this branch of hell in 1776. Now, there are 13 layers of stone on the pyramid alone, an unfinished work of art. For 33 1/3 is as high as a mesa can go without falling apart. 13 stars in the original flag, 13 demons from the devil's bag, 13 berries and 13 leaves, 13 colonies of land-grabbing thieves, 13 arrows in the eagle's claws, 67 corporations wage the devil's wars, 13 stripes on the eagle's shield, and these are the symbols on the U.S. seal. Now, on the front of the dollar bill to the right of Washington's head is a small seal in the shape of a wheel with the secret that's been left unsaid. The symbols in the middle represent the riddle of the scales, the ruler, and the key. The square rule is a symbol from the craft of masonry. The scales represent Libra, the balance of the seventh sign. They also represent the justice, which you and I know is blind. The key unlocks the mysteries of the secrets of the seal, so that only the governed human would know what they reveal. The 4 words above form the last parts of the secrets of the seal and tells how they fooled the people into thinking paper money was real. Now, Thisar means the treasury, where they stole the gold they stole, and Amor means to punish, like the slaves they bought and stole. The Septent means 7, like 1776, when the 13 devils gathered to unleash their bag of tricks. Then Sigil means the images they've created to fool the world, like the colors on Old Glory, the flag that they unfurled. Now, red was the color of the Indian man, white was the jinns who stole the land, blue was the eyes that hypnotized with the tricks and traps they sprung. And even to this very same day, they all speak with forked tongue. And so the power is in the hands of the ruling classes, playing God with the faith of all the masses, so the people don't get any in the land of the plenty, because e pluribus unum means one out of many. And there you have it in a nutshell. Yeah, it's just a little spell all wrapped up in a nutshell. Oops, let me just show you one more thing. Almost forgot. I showed you what was on the back of the seal, the Great Seal of the United States. And this is what you usually see when you see the you see them broadcasted from the White House press room. Then you're going to see this. That's the front of the Great Seal. So the Great Seal is like a coin. It's a 2-sided coin. You got the front and the back. This is on the front, and then the other one with the pyramid, that's the one on the back. And both of them, they put on your $1 bill. And there you have it. You see the front and the back of the Great Seal on your $1 bill. So they put all the, they they put it in code. They locked these ideas in code and put it right there in front of you where you see it every day. You're passing it back and forth, giving it to each other, looking at it all the time and never realizing what you just heard in that rhyme. All right, now the actual story today is this is a word sound power day. So we're dealing with words, the power of words, the meaning of words, codes, coded words, coded language, those kind of things. So this is another piece. This one is kind of taking us from one aspect or one time frame to another. So we're going to go back in time to the time of Uncle Remus, confronted by the coastal dialect. It's not, I'm going to skip this part right here. I'm going to go on to the notable difference existing between the Negroes, that's with a little n, in the interior of the cotton states and those on the seaboard. A difference that extends to habits and opinions, as well as to dialect, has given rise to certain ineradicable prejudices, which are quick to display themselves whenever an opportunity offers. These prejudices were forcibly, as well as ludicrously, illustrated in Atlanta recently. A gentleman from Savannah had been spending the summer in the mountains of North Georgia and found it convenient to take along a body servant. This body servant was a very fine specimen of the average coast Negro, little n. Sleek, well-conditioned and consequential, disposed to regard with undisguised contempt everything and everybody not indigenous to the rice-growing region. And he paraded around the streets with quite a curious and critical air. Espying Uncle Remus languidly sunning himself on a corner, the Savannah darky approached. "Morning, sir." "I'm sort of up and about," responded Uncle Remus carelessly and calmly. "How was you standing it?" Thank you, you. My health most so. He more hot than in the mountain. Seems so, like man must get neath the shade. I ain't to foresee no rice bird in these parts." "In this which?" inquired Uncle Remus with a sudden affectation of interest. "In these parts, in this country. There are plenty in Sewanee." "Plenty where?" So you can see the two of them are having a little bit difficulty communicate. Apparently they're speaking almost two different languages. "There are plenty in Sewanee. I ain't to perceive no crab and no oyster and swimp. He knows stay around. I like some rice bird right now." "You were talking about these here sparrows, which they are all head and leave them on makes one. Oh, 11 makes one mouthful. 11 makes one mouthful, I expect," suggested Uncle Remus. "Well, they're here," he continued, "but this ain't no climate where the rice birds flies into your pockets and gets out the money and makes the change themselves, and the oysters don't shuck off their shells and run over you on the street, and no more does the simp hull themselves and then drape in your mouth. But they are here though. They're scads. Their scads will fetch them." "Him po country for true," commented the Savannah little n Negro. "He no like Sewanee. Down there, we set neath the shade and into the rice bird and the crab and the swimp 3 times a day. And the buckra man drinking him wine and smoking him cigar all through the night. Plenty for eat and not much for work. It's mighty nice, I expect," responded Uncle Remus gravely. "The nigger that ain't hope up longer high feeding ain't got no grip. But up here, what folks is got to scramble round and make their own living. The victuals what's accumulated without any sweating, most olives generally belong to some other man by rights. One hoe cake and a rasher middling meat lasts me from Sunday to Sunday, and I'm a mighty big streak of luck. I'm in a mighty big streak of luck when I gets that. The Savannah Negro here gave utterance to a loud, contemptuous laugh and began to fumble somewhat ostentatiously with a big brass watch chain. But I expect I struck up with a paying job last Tuesday, continued Uncle Remus in a hopeful tone. What you gonna do? Oh, I'm waiting on a colored gentleman from Savannah, one of these here high livers you've been telling about. How that? I loaned him $2, responded Uncle Remus grimly, and I'm waiting on him for the money. It's wonder these here jobs would last a long time. The Savannah Negro, little nEGRO, went off after his rice birds while Uncle Remus leaned up against the wall and laughed until he was in imminent danger of falling down from sheer exhaustion. Yes, I thought that was an interesting story. Maybe you did too. And if you did, go ahead, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. Or if you like, go ahead and like us on Facebook and give us a share. Spread the word. Spread it around. Doc Ock is here every day, Monday through Friday, at noon and 9, trying to make everything fine to help everything just go real smooth, like you was eating dinner with a real good wine. So we will be back tonight. We will be here, like I said, all the way through Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday, we got some special activities. Look for it again right here at 12 o'clock high noon. We're going to do it then. In the meanwhile, we're clocking out. Peace out, y'all.